right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We're here to talk Seller Velocity 2024. Woo!
Woohoo!
With
So cool.
our esteemed, brilliant, fun, interesting, humorous. I don't know if I have enough accolades for Janelle Page. It would be crazy to give you one title or one compliment. And you're our MC this year. We are, again, words cannot describe how thrilled to have you May 1st and 2nd with us in New York. You've launched and succeeded so many times with so many brands. We're going to have 7, 8, some 9-figure brands in attendance. I'm sure in the course of MCing, you're going to have words of wisdom and jokes and comments, answer questions. That's what's so wonderful about you. You're like the Renaissance woman 5-tool player, right? You offer so much in terms of insight and experience. What do you think will be your number one word of advice or the number one question that you're going to get from successful brands that are looking to up their game to the level of success that you have seen and experienced?
Well, wow. First of all, can I just say, can Chris speak at my funeral? Because that was like so like, wow. I'm like, remember how you gotta lower expectations so that like you can blow people away? Like they're like gonna be like, wow. Anyhow, that was
People see Janelle Page, the expectations have hit the roof before they finish the word page.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being my hype man, and I owe you. I'm really excited for Seller Velocity, you guys. It's an incredible conference. I was at the one in Bend, Oregon, and I think that's the last one we had. So I was at the last one, and it was.
And your talk was the best. You were the featured. You got the highest marks of anybody there.
Yes. That's all that matters. I got to be the best, right? In fact, as a child, we'd come home and it'd be like, "How was your test?" And it would be like, "I got a 95%." Be like, "Were you the best?" And so, like, my whole life has been centered around I have to be the best. It's a good thing, but it's also like, funny. I made sure I don't ask my children, "Were you the best?" Because I was like, "How about if you just did your best?" Because then you're just always, comparing yourself to everybody else. Am I the best? And, like even pickleball, I started pickleball as to be a fun outlet, but it's turned into like, I have to be the best. And so anyhow, I think that's funny.
You have a lot of drive.
I do. And that third shot drive and the third shot drop are really important in pickleball, but we won't talk all about pickleball here today, but I really hope there's a court in New York that we're going to have some playtime.
We have time to sort out your pickleball problem for New York. Yes.
Okay, people. So number one reason you should come is there's going to be pickleball. And pickleball is like the new golf. It's a new way of like, you want to talk business and network. It's like all going to happen on the pickleball court. $1 million deals go down on the pickleball court. And you know what? I actually work with a lot of pickleball brands that are making millions of dollars. It is the fastest growing sport in the United States, and I think actually in the world right now. And I'm telling you this because if I'm going to sprinkle, little words of wisdom or golden nuggets during the Seller Velocity Conference, it'll be based on some of my experiences recently and launching, I think just last year alone, 5 or 6 new brands that were $1 million launches. And
awesome.
I love birthing babies. And when I say babies, I'm talking about brand babies. And I only have 4 kids. I have more products and brands than I have children.
Only 4. Yeah.
I only have 4. I'd probably have 20 if brands were babies. But I want to talk about. I'll sprinkle in what are some of my little hacks. I don't call them hacks. I think they're actually the fundamentals. And when you do the fundamentals, you have a really great game of launching $1 million brands. So whatever you guys want to ask or learn about, I do find that most people find most fascinating about how I launch brands because it's a little bit different than how traditional Amazon sellers do it. Traditional Amazon sellers
are
doing keyword research, looking for like where it's trending, where there's an edge or a hole in the marketplace. And I'm always like, that thought never even crosses my mind. If I had to look at a spreadsheet or do anything that involves like looking up, does somebody want this? I don't care. I'm scratching my own itch, or if I'm working with a celebrity or influencer, they're already very aware of their audience and what they may love or enjoy. And so we're creating a product already for a person. And that's how you can start to test, do I have product market fit? And I've usually found if you've got a problem that you've struggled with and you have something that bugs you and you create a solution for it, there's other people like you out there. And now your job is to just go find them. And you do that by creating an incredible story and an incredible product. And you say, I made this for you because I wanted this or whatever. And it spreads. And then, of course, pour gasoline on the fire with paid traffic. And to me,
Of
Amazon's
course.
just
Yeah.
like a sales channel. There's spokes in a wheel, and Amazon to me is there's a wheel, and all the different platforms are spokes that make up that wheel. And Amazon's just one of them. It's a great platform. I want to be on there. I want to have optimized listings. I want to make sure my conversion rate's high, and I want to capture all my brand demand. But it's not like my go-to market strategy is Amazon. No, I'm creating.
But that's what's great
product.
about you. You understand the launch process. You understand how to harness the passion for the product. So the story by the brand owners, you understand the influence. I just heard you speak last month or a couple months ago. You understand the influencer part, right? That's not just keyword research.
Yeah.
You understand how to get the right influencer behind the product, but you understand the entire life cycle. You're a launch expert all the way through to sales of the brand, selling the brand, exit strategy, right? Because you've exited. How many times have you exited brands?
Oh, gee, well, a lot. And some of them premature too. Like I'll take an exit, like, because I do a lot of, like, I exited some brands early last year that I wasn't planning to exit for 3 to 5 years, but because I'm working on a new project that I'm really, really excited about. And I'll talk about that fine at Seller Velocity as well. But I'm working with some celebrity dancers and actors, and we're creating an incredible product. And it's taking a lot of my focus. And then I've also got some other brands I'm launching and consulting and advising on. So I was like, I hadn't planned to wrap up those as early. So I had some early exits there. And then I have some that, we still have a 3 to 5 year exit timeline. To me, the most exciting part, it's probably like a relationship, that infatuation where you first starting dating. It's so fun to get to know each other and stuff.
Yep.
That is like, to me, when you're starting a brand, it's so exciting. It's so fun. What is this brand going to look like? All the possibilities are endless. Getting all the right team members in place and the influencers and the strategy, the go-to-market strategy, how you're going to delight the customers and surprise, and how you're going to build in a marketing engine into the product itself so that the cost to acquire a customer, you can reduce that cost because the product becomes its own acquisition engine. That's the kind of stuff that I love. When it gets bogged down into the corporate board meetings and all that jazz, I'm kind of like,
Well, this is yet another kind of what I like about Janelle part of the video here. What I like about you is you've got the energy. Clearly, everyone can tell you've got the drive and the energy, but you also have positive energy. And selling on Amazon can get you down sometimes, and it can be really tough. Some people persevere because they harness the positive energy and they do something productive with it. Or maybe they don't necessarily harness it. Maybe that's too aggressive of a word, but they use it to prop themselves up and keep going through difficult times or challenging times. You've mastered that, right? I haven't known you the whole time I've been in the Amazon space. I haven't seen you launch all of these brands, but I can tell just by listening to your stories, your description, your details, and the positivity washes over the listener too, which is one reason it's so great that you're going to be, emceeing for us this year, because that's what people need. These are mostly successful, established brands that are looking to persevere and looking to push through the next challenge.
Oh, yeah, totally. Well, I think it was Viktor Frankl who says anyone who has a why can endure anyhow. He was a great psychologist for The Man's Search for Meaning when he was imprisoned in concentration camp. So it's a great book, but it's like, when you know what you're building and you're working through it and you have that vision and that that ultimate exit, or maybe you're not, like, sometimes I'm like, everyone wants to exit. And I'm like, I've exited. You need a golden goose. And you can exit and retire, but that's boring unless you want to play pickleball all day. But even then it gets a little boring. To work gives me meaning, and to play gives meaning to my play, and vice versa. So I don't ever want to not work, but I also could say that I don't ever feel like I've really worked a day in my life. But I also think that paints a picture that's not really realistic. That's probably like an Instagram reel of what somebody thinks work is. There's stuff I don't want to do, but I do it. It's part of the job. You know what I mean? It's like, there's things that we all don't want to have to do. Taking out the trash on Sunday night is kind of crappy, but I don't want my house to smell gross. We do that.
That's right.
But, I don't want to idealize it. Like, every day it's like sunshine and rainbows and unicorns, but I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing. If there's too many mornings in a row that I wake up, I cannot even think of a morning in a long time that I've woken up and been like, oh, I don't want to do what I have to do today. And I've engineered my life in that way. And even though there was times when I look back, I mean, I was a single mom with 4 kids under the age of 5, sole provider, and I was working like 5 jobs. And these weren't glorious jobs, like raking in dough, launching brands. I was like calling and scheduling carpet cleaning appointments. I was mowing lawns and shoveling snow, teaching piano, nannying kids. And I had a college degree, but it was like I was a teacher and my certificate had lapsed. And I was all of a sudden found myself having to earn money with little kids running around. I was willing to do whatever I had to do
Of
to
course.
make
Yeah.
ends meet. And that's sometimes what it's like in business. But when you can see the lifestyle and you know what you're working towards, because on the other side of hard work and commitment and dedication and not giving up is a glorious outcome. I mean, I don't know anyone who goes and puts in the hours and the work that's required who doesn't end up with their end result. It's a formula for success. I know a lot of people who can't hack it, who can't do the hard work, they cry, they give up. Okay. Yeah, you can't have muscles like Arnold Schwarzenegger if you don't put in the time at the gym.
Exactly. And you do have to persevere. Most of the brands, I mean, the typical attendee for Seller Velocity is also our typical client. So it's kind of easy for me to say because I have such a good profile in my head of the types of people you're going to be speaking to, I'm going to be speaking to. But a lot of them have had quite a bit of success, and you have to almost remind them success can be temporary. It depends on how you define temporary. And some people have succeeded for 3 to 5 years. Their brand has already, really kicked butt for that amount of time. And that's beyond what their expectations were. But they still have the passion. They might be interested in launching another brand, even if they exit from a first brand or a second brand. Yeah. And they might not want to just sit on a beach somewhere, right? Totally. Or they might feel differently now than they did when they started building that brand. So that's another reason why we want you to be able to talk to them in New York, May 1st and 2nd. And some people listening to us right now already have tickets. They already know you. They already know me. They're looking forward to it. Other people hearing our voices and seeing our faces haven't quite decided if they're going to be buying the ticket. But I love having them listen to you talk about almost anything, not to gush all again, but you're so inspirational because of what you've got behind you, but you also see that there's more to do and there's more in front of you that will inspire you to do different things, right? Sure. You're not done.
Heck no.
No.
When
you could retire right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't have to. I always tell people like that. I choose to work. You know what I mean? I've been very fortunate, but when I say, there's this fine line. Like there was a lot of hard work, and there still is a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of passion for what I do. But I've been lucky. I was born in freaking the United States to parents who loved me and nurtured and took care of me, and I got education and I have good health. Like that's luck, or some you can say if you're religious or you believe in a higher power, that's a blessing. I don't care what terminology you use, but I'm not going to act like Janelle is the shit bomb that did this all herself. Like my parents taught me how to work hard. What a gift to have parents who teach you a hard work ethic. Anyone who's an entrepreneur knows you got to work hard, just to sit on the phone with the Seller Central agent helper who's like making you want to gouge your eyeballs out with a spoon. That's really hard,
Or gouge somebody's eyeballs out.
Yes, yeah, their eyeballs. Yeah. No, but what you were saying about brands and life cycles, it's so true. Like even like, and I work a lot with YouTubers, and we find that like the life cycle of the YouTuber is like 7 years before they're like irrelevant. There's very few YouTubers that can reinvent themselves, or change the channel to continually stay relevant. That's the same thing I'm noticing with brands. Like if you don't build a multi-generational brand and be very thoughtful and purposeful as you're building that brand, like how will I protect against, becoming obsolete or making sure I'm staying innovative and top of mind with consumers? We call it a life cycle for a reason. And so I just think these are ideas that people who have just bought like an ASM type product and started launching products looking for keyword research, they don't have that marketing background or brand generation background that kind of help them understand these concepts. So I do enjoy educating people on that just so they can kind of be prepared, go in eyes wide open. And when we know better, we do better, right? So it's just,
of course,
anything that I can help with, in my experience. And that's why I love conferences and networking, because the knowledge that you probably need or that aha moment could be sitting right next to you in the chair. And we have what I loved about Stellar Velocity is there's the workshopping, but there's also activities. So there's plenty of
Yeah.
time to be sitting next to someone on the bus ride to an activity, or, at the campfire, and you're just sharing your experiences. And I learn by hearing, and I avoid a lot of mistakes because someone else shared, hey, I did this. I don't recommend it. Like, thank you. You just saved me, 10 grand.
And there will be a bus ride for day 2. Anyone who's looking at May 2nd, the VIP day, which is an hour outside of New York City, there will be a bus ride. So you will have those conversations.
Yeah.
Maybe not everyone having the same conversation with Janelle all at the same time, but
there will be good conversation.
There'll be loads of networking opportunities on both days, fortunately, not just on the VIP day. So we're really looking forward to having you, as I've said numerous times. Once again, if you don't already have the ticket, May 1st and 2nd, New York City. And Janelle is going to be our MC because our last Stellar Velocity conference, she engaged the crowd so wonderfully, rapt attention. We love your sense of humor, but also, yes, you understand that it's not just your brains, it's your hard work and it's your passion, because I don't see how people can succeed long-term on a platform like Amazon without having all of those attributes,
I agree. And you know what? You bring this passion to anything in life. It's like I said, it's a formula. It works. I've seen it work in pickleball. I started playing pickleball 90 days ago, and I'm playing with like the pro level, right? I'm not as good as them, but the fact that I could, because I go every day, I drill for 2 hours, like that dedication. I mean, I'm pretty obsessive, and I'm like, that's the beauty of entrepreneurs. When you look at these people, they tend to have an obsessive, almost like, I would say not autistic, because I have nephews that are autistic, and like that, some people think that's like, not, you shouldn't like PC.
Well, but their passion drives them, right?
The focus, that they can stay for long amounts of time and focus on something for mastery. And then also knowing when you're like, I'm at the 90% mastery level on something, and like to get the incremental 10% and the time that would have to go in to achieve that, it's probably a diminishing returns. So we can like hit that excellence in, it's in product launching. And then it's like, okay, this is good enough here. I'm going to go over here and focus and build this, to that, where I get that spike in performance kind of a thing. So I think that's something that I also think gives me a competitive advantage, is I know like the 80-20 of what needs to be done to get the maximal results.
Man, couldn't have said it better myself. And I love the pickleball analogy. I'm sure we'll hear more of that as well.
Help it continue to be the world's fastest growing sport. Actually, I don't know if you can call it a sport. I was telling my friend, if you can master it in 90 days or less, it might not be a sport. It can just be
interesting. Good. Something to chew on there. Good food for thought for the next conversation we have. But great talking to you today. Fortunately, Stellar Velocity is a scant 2 months from now.
Wow.
Ish. So I at least know I'll be seeing you in person and absorbing all this wonderful energy in person very soon. But we'll be catching you off and on between now and then. And thanks so much for taking time today to talk to us, talk up the conference. This is our 6th one. So we're trying to make it better and better every year, right?
That's right. And it's a fun conference. I go to a lot of conferences. I told Chris, I loved your conference. It was super fun. So if you don't have your tickets, go get them. I probably have a coupon code that you can use and get like a discount.
We're going to have all of that at the bottom of your page here.
Yeah.
So,
and don't worry, I don't get any commission on that. You're just getting a discount. But we can go see Broadway shows, guys. We can go to the Met, and we can go. Maybe the Yankees are playing. Will it be baseball season yet? It's going to be fun.
I'm a Red Sox fan, so I'm not going to go watch the Yankees, but
okay, maybe we'll play the Red Sox.
But I will go see Broadway shows. I try to go to one every time I'm in New York. And you know what? New York in the spring, really nice,
So nice. I love New York.
So looking forward to seeing everybody there. Any questions, comments, let us know, sellervelocityconference.com, and we will see you very soon. Thank you.